I'm a product of Central State University in Wilberforce, Ohio. It was an amazing experience. And then to go into a classroom and see and have so many scholars who were teaching me. And it instilled in me a new alignment with Blackness. When I talk to young adults, when I talk to high school students who are entering college, I tell them to look at the whole experience. Yes, maybe they received a scholarship to a majority university, and I tell them also apply to an HBCU. Politics has always been a part of my life, and I was always in the middle of something, whether I was negotiating something or mediating something. And so for me, it was kind of a natural blend for me to think that I can do this when it was first mentioned to me. My journey was one to make a difference. HBCUs always taught you to stand up and to stand out. So it encouraged me to do something that others hadn't done. So I ran to be the House leader, ran against 5 majority men because they said, well, first of all, you're a female and you're a Black female. People aren't gonna give you the millions of dollars you need. This majority caucus, they're not gonna support you. And I defied the odds. And I really believe it was a combination of how I grew up with strong parents and a strong grandmother, but it was also reflecting back to my years at Central State University, where we were always taught you can do whatever you want to do if you work harder than the next person, if you believe in it and you prepare yourself. And so I had to do that to graduate at Central State with honors. And I've continued to do that from the State House. And now here I am sitting as a senior member in the United States Congress. I can remember my first week in Congress and looking at people like Congressman Charlie Rangel walking in, and Congresswoman Maxine Waters, and Congressman Jim Clyburn. And so I thought, I'm gonna be sitting with giants. And then I was in my first Congressional Black Caucus meeting, and I leaned over to a colleague and said, this is great. And in my mind, I thought, one of the greatest honors I could have while serving in Congress is to be chair of the powerful Congressional Black Caucus that was started by 12 Black men and 1 female, Shirley Chisholm. A few years later, I put my name in the hat to be chair of the Congressional Black Caucus, the 9th woman to serve as chair. I'd like to believe that my work there is something that other little girls, and especially Black girls, look at and say, one day I too can be chair of the Congressional Black Caucus. Well, we've been very big advocates of making sure that we protect all of our athletes and those who are in sports by making sure that we put funding there. Funding for those schools and programs, because certainly, as you know, we've had our ebbs and flows over the years that many schools, if you have to make a choice between academics and sports, and maybe rightly so, academics will win out. But I grew up in an era time when you could have both, and that's what I'm advocating for, that we make sure that we allow our young Black Americans to have the full experience, that we want them, whether it's basketball or tennis or track or football, to have that experience as well as their academics experience. And I think you can do both.
HBCU Go.
We support HBCU Go because it tells the story and it reaches the masses. And then to have someone like Curtis, who has lived that experience, who graduated from an HBCU, it makes a real difference because it's more than just the business, it's more than just the organization. It's life for someone like Curtis. And so when you can put your hands and your soul into something that you believe in, it makes a difference. People all over the United States and the world now know how great HBCUs are. So I say, go HBCU, go.